All right, man. Some news came out about Derrick Rose today and how long he could be out, and also the prospect of the Pistons completely shutting down Derrick Rose for the season. Let's talk about it. We back. Motor City Sports Talk. We in the building. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, bell icon button, share the video. I appreciate the love, support from everybody. Best way to donate, share that video. But if you want to donate. Cash App and PayPal are information are in the description. Excuse me, but I seen on ESPN that Derrick Rose is estimated to be out, I think, with a grade 2 ankle sprain for 2 weeks. All right. He's played 50 games this season thus far, averaged around just over 26 minutes a game. This is the second most games he played since last year, playing, I think, 54 or 50-something with the Minnesota Timberwolves. And before that, 2016 was the last time he cracked above 50 games with 64 games with the Knicks from New York. There's a lot going on with them right now, Spike Lee. But hey, it's another conversation for another day. If you want to check out the channel out, Goodfellas Sports TV, we've been talking about it since last night. But, you know, with Derrick Rose, I think he was a huge breath of fresh air. And he held up his end of the bargain this year. It's just that they mishandled Blake. You know, when you talking about the Lions and Pistons, Lions 2 years ago mishandled Matthew Stafford, paid the price this season. Pistons mishandled Blake Griffin, and you think most people in the organization, even though it has a new owner at this point and new front office, most people in this organization would have understood what happened when they mishandled Grant Hill and how it derailed his career, no matter how much medicine has advanced since that time. And they did the same thing and forced Blake Griffin to play in a playoff game, which they had no chance of winning that series versus the Milwaukee Bucks. They had been getting whooped by the Bucks all season. Therefore, with Derrick Rose holding up his end of the bargain, Reggie didn't. You know what I'm saying? Andre was there when he was here. It really boiled down to Reggie not holding up his end of the bargain, Markieff Morris not being healthy and holding up his end of the bargain. Once again, Luke Kennard not being healthy as well. And had the Pistons been completely healthy, you talking about a team that's probably fighting for the 6th spot right now in the East, because Derrick Rose was handling his business. And him and Reggie was supposed to be a part-time partnership, both creating one full-time point guard. So Derrick Rose more than lived. He exceeded my expectations. And I think he exceeded a lot of people's expectations who had high expectations for him this season. So you can't blame Derrick Rose. Just things around him just never materialized. The Piston team is built around a lot of, injury-prone guys. From people loving Luke Kennard, he can't stay on the floor. You know what I'm saying? No way Langston Galloway and Bruce Brown supposed to play that much this year. Couldn't stay on the floor. You know, you look at Blake Griffin, mishandled his injury last year. Couldn't stay on the floor. It would been nice to see how the Pistons look with Derrick Rose, Blake Griffin, Andre Drummond, and Luke Kennard, and Reggie, being healthy. I think the team would have had way more depth, would have made way more success. But like I said before, Derrick Rose held his end of the bargain up. And unfortunately, with Blake getting injured and Reggie getting injured, Andre Drummond had to go. Had this team been trending towards the 6th or the 5th spot, they wouldn't have traded Andre Drummond. You know what I'm saying? Because they would have seen the potential and a couple more tweaks to the team. In their mind, maybe you could have got him over the hump to be in the thick of the Eastern Conference. But the team reached its potential. Is exactly what I thought the team was. When Dwayne Casey took over, it's a complete rebuild. They set the team and the city back, or the franchise back, 2 seasons. They should have hired a young coach, tore it down, and they would have been closer to, being on the rise than rebuild. But they wanted to roll the dice. They was in a new stadium. Now the rebuild continues, and it brings us to our next topic. Dwayne Casey, not link an article in the description, basically saying they trying to shut down Derrick Rose. He said, I don't see the point. Basically, I'm paraphrasing. He said, I don't see the point of Derrick Rose coming back. It's only 20 games left, but it's a decision they haven't had yet. They haven't made yet. But basically, Derrick Rose probably going to be shut down for the rest of the season. And he wanted a few bright spots on the team that you want to go down to Little Caesars Arena and pay to come see. Just had a great game in Phoenix and then got injured in Sacramento. But Brandon Knight said to be healthy. So they going to ride with Jordan Bone and Brandon Knight probably at the point guard position moving forward right now. But should they shut down Derrick Rose? Absolutely. I thought they should buy out Derrick Rose so he can go somewhere else like Milwaukee and, try to win and, be on the grand stage. But You know, with Derrick Rose, you knew it was just a matter of time until he get injured. A lot of fans was arguing with me in the comment section. Oh, D Rose, why he can't play 30, 40 plus minutes a game? Why he only playing 25, 26, 27 minutes a game? That's why. Because physically, he hasn't changed his game enough not to get injured no more. He's still jumping around and Euro stepping around and playing reckless, but that's just his game. You can't change his DNA. You know what I'm saying? Ron Harper got injured. He was able to change the way he played. McDyess got injured. He was able to change the way he played. But it was just a matter of time till Derrick Rose needed some maintenance. You know, it was going to be times, there was reasons why when he had hamstring tightness, they shut him down. He could have played if it was the playoffs. But when you get Derrick Rose on your team, you got to put him on the pitch count. And what they done is add another injury-prone player to a group of injury-prone players, and they traded the most durable player on the team in Andre Drummond, and understandably so. I get it. But they just added one of the more injury-prone players to the team, and this is what a lot of the detractors said about Derrick Rose coming here. Now, had it all materialized and they all have been healthy, you know, we have a different conversation? Yeah, but that hadn't happened. You know, even before Derrick Rose got here, Reggie been injured and not injured. Blake Griffin had a history of being injured. Luke Kennard ain't never been healthy in the league for real. So they core players that they wanted to, you know, add Derrick Rose to, they've been injured. But with D Rose, I mean, it'd be sad. I want to see him in the playoffs and hoop, you know. I wish they would buy him out, and I think he would go to Milwaukee because that's close to Chicago, and that's what he wanted to do. That's why he in Detroit. He wanted to stay close to Chicago. Derrick Rose get homesick. You know, he went to New York, and that still was too far away. But they probably should shut him down. What's the point? You tanking, you trying to lose. Derrick Rose out there trying to compete and win. So for 20, you know, it ain't like he making $30 million a year. He making what, around $7 this year? That ain't nothing to throw under the table and just say, you know what, just show up to practices, show up on the bench, and then we got 20 games left. And it is what, and then the season over with. But it'd be good for the NBA and the playoff race to see Derrick Rose on a playoff contender. But at the end of the day, Darren Casey just said, you know, I mean, I don't get why. You know, we would bring him back, but to be honest, what they doing is just evaluating these Dante Halls, the Bones, you know, all the other young players out here, the Thomases, the Brown, and they seeing who they going forward with next year. Because it's our evaluation period while tanking. And is it hard for Dwayne Casey to sit here like that? Absolutely. When you took a job and it was expected that y'all was just going to be, you know, y'all was going to put it together and y'all was going to compete for a playoff spot and y'all was going to compete to be contenders in the East. Now you're in a total rebuild situation. Is Dwayne Casey the right guy to go for rebuilding? You know, my personal opinion, no. Go get a younger coach. You know, is Derrick Rose the right guy to go forward into a rebuild? He already talking about going back to Chicago. What is he worth at this point? He was worth a lot at the trade deadline. As much as he going to be. Now, he probably not worth as much. But what he can bring is $1 million worth of game. To these young players they bring in. They bringing in a young point guard, Killian, or they bringing in LaMelo and Cole Anthony, or they bringing in another young guard, Anthony Edwards. What better guy to help tutor and help mentor a lot of players on how to be professionals? You know, how to handle themselves off the court, how to stay in shape, how to study game film. Sometimes people say, well, that's for the coach, but sometimes a player is better hearing it from a player and probably a future Hall of Famer in Derrick Rose. That's what Blake Griffin gonna be until his contract rollout, unless he has some miraculous Wolverine type of rehabilitation to his knee and to his body. He's just gonna be a $30+ million mentor to whoever they bring in, you know. And that was the risk. Dan Van Gundy really did more damage than Joe Dumars ever done to this franchise. Even with Joe Dumars, you know, bringing in Charlie V and Ben Gordon and Josh Smith in. Even with missing on Darko for Carmelo, Stan Van Gundy and Jordan Bowers, they still done more damage than Joe Dumars could have ever dreamed of. But hey, let me know what you guys think. Should they shut D Rose down for the season? 20 games out. Let me know what y'all guys think for Derrick Rose. Should he come back next season? Should they buy him out? Should they trade him? Let me know how y'all feel. Don't forget, we on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can reach out to the email if you have a business question, inquiry, sponsorship, video request. Keep sharing the videos. Want to make a donation to the channel? That link's in the description. Best way to donate is share the video. Appreciate the love, support. Check our Detroit Pistons playlist. If we get some more topics, I'll go live at some point on the Pistons Appreciate the love, support. One time for the one time. It's your boy CJ Goodfellow, Mercy Sports Talk. We gone.